Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 7 of spiritual warfare. I do want to forewarn you today's video might be a little bit longer just because I got a little bit of stuff to get through today. On the spiritual warfare front, I am feeling pretty good actually. I have to say I'm feeling the best I've felt in the 7 days. I think yesterday's video really helped. In yesterday's video, I don't know if you watched, I express my frustration to God, to the universe, which I was trying not to do. But I feel like once I got it out and said how I truly felt, I turned the corner. We're back to 100% honesty. I'm feeling better. And normally I do try to be 100% honest, especially with God. But we have been fighting so much lately. Over the last 6 months, we have been fighting a lot. And when I say me, I mean like me, the spirit realm, the universe, God, like the whole shebang. Like we have been in some very bad brawls. And I feel like I finally got to a point where I'm back in alignment and we all kind of are in agreement again. Like we all are doing okay. And I didn't want to mess up the balance. So I was kind of, trying not to complain because I didn't want to mess up the cohesion. I feel like we finally have gotten again, but I couldn't do it. I got to say how I feel, just how I'm built. And so I said the stuff and I feel 100% better. I feel like I'm moving from a more honest place and I'm feeling good. So good for me on the spiritual front. This morning I woke up at 5 and I was tired, and that's because I didn't go to sleep until late at 12:30. Something happened. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I'll save that for another video one day. It's kind of embarrassing actually. But lo and behold, so I didn't lay down until probably like 1. So I woke up at 5. My eyes opened at 5 and I was tired. And that voice in my head said, just rest today. Don't work, don't walk. Just, take a day of rest. But then the other voice said, nope, we're not doing that. Because that's how you lose momentum. You take one day off, you do 2 days off, and then, you stop. And I work 7 days a week and I walk 7 days a week, weather permitting. The 7 miles. The 2 hours is really 2 hours. I don't care about the miles as long as it's 2 hours. I need a 2-hour walk every day. So I was like, nope, we're getting up and we're doing it. So I made myself get up, even though I was tired, but like I should rest. I got up, I got ready, and I went to work. So I started work at 5:30 and I think I logged off around 9, and I said, all right, I'll go take my walk at the Metro Park now. I get to the Metro Park and I'm trying to decide, do I want to walk the hilly part again, or am I going to do the actual, walk part? Now, let me say this, how the walk started. I started trying to walk. It started a couple years ago when I still had an office job. I felt like the universe was telling me I needed to walk. I needed to move more. Like, move, walk. And I was like, I don't want to. But then I feel like the voices kept coming and they were getting louder and louder. Like, walk. And finally, one day I snapped. I was annoyed and I said audibly to the universe, because the voices that tell me to walk, it's all in my head. But I look up to respond because now I'm irritated. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I said, listen to me. I do not care if this fat ever leaves my thighs. I am not walking. I don't care about my weight. I'm fine. And they immediately said back, we didn't say you needed to walk to lose weight. You should walk so you can commune with nature. And I was like, well, why didn't you just say that in the first place? All right, I'll take it under advisement. We'll see what happens. And so I didn't start walking immediately, but like maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months went by, honestly. And I started walking more on the weekends because at this point I still had an office job, working 7:30 to 4 every day. And I'm just like everybody else in America. You work all week in your office job. The last thing you want to do is come home and take a 2-hour walk. And so I didn't do it. But I would try to walk on the weekends, on Saturdays, and especially on Sundays. Sunday was like my good day. I would definitely take the longer walk on Sundays. However, in I think September of 2024, I want to say, I left office work and I started doing ride share, and that helps me balance my schedule more so I could take more walks. And so the walk started to increase, and now we're up to every day, 7 days a week. And the walk is to commune with nature. It has nothing to do with losing weight or getting fat off my thighs. I mean, it'd be nice if that would help, but it's just for communing with nature. So I get to the trail today and I'm like, do I want to take the walking trail, to walk the whole thing, or do I want to put a little more strenuous exercise to it and see if we can get some of this thigh action happening? And I said, here's what I'll do. I'll start on the walking trail, and then when you go up the walking trail, there's a part in the back where it is a little bit hilly, and then you come down back to the walking trail, and it takes you to the end where you turn around and you come back. So I do that. I start walking. I do the hilly part in the back. I come down and hit the walking trail to go to the end, and then on the way back, I'm just going to walk. I'm not going to do any hillies. I'm just going to, walk the trail and commune with nature on the way back. I will say this too. On yesterday's walk and on today's walk, I noticed when I'm doing the hilly portions, I'm not really communing with nature because it's hilly and it's steep, and so you're trying not to break your neck, you know what I mean, or fall over the side. Like, you kind of really have to pay attention to what you're doing, so it's not much communing with anything, because you really got to watch yourself. So I did notice that on yesterday's walk, and I noticed it again this morning when I was on the hilly section. Like, you're not even talking to anything because you're trying not to break your neck out here. So on the way back, I'm going to walk. So I'm walking on the way back, and then there's 4 women walk behind me, walking together, and they're chatting, which is fine, but I can't really hear my thoughts. And so as I'm walking, listening to the chatter, some lady runs past me, and she's running at a pretty decent pace, and I go, oh, I know, I will try to run and catch up to this lady, like run as fast as she does. She's going at a good pace, plus that'll give me some distance from the chatter, and I can hear my thoughts again. So I start to run. I'm trying to catch up with this lady running, and she's running at a pretty good pace, and she's getting further and further ahead. And so I was like, oh, I should just stop and walk. And I was like, no, I'll just keep running, and maybe I'll catch up, or I'll just get as close as I can. So I'm running, trying to catch up with this lady, which is what I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be walking and communing with nature, but me, miss doing too much. Running. And then as I'm running, there's 2 ladies in front of me, and I say, excuse me, so I can get past them and keep running. Now, the 2 ladies who I'm trying to cut in front of are 2 ladies who walk almost every day. And one lady walks every day. And so I run past her, and she notices me, and she goes, look at you today. Because normally I'm, just walking and communing. And today, I got a bit of a run happening. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm feeling good. I got a little bit of confidence. She's seeing me running, and I see the path to the hilly part to go back. And I said, oh, I'm feeling good. I got a little confidence boost from this lady talking about, oh, look at you today. So I decided I'm going to run up the hill on the way back instead of walk back like I said I was going to do in the first place. So I get off the trail. I start running up the hill. I'm running for about 10-15 minutes, and there's like some step things on this hill, and I'm jumping up the steps, and I jump up the step, and I feel something pull in my left knee, and I'm like, crap. So I'm like, all right, it's fine. Shake it off. I just try to shake it off. It still hurts a little bit, but I'm not deterred. I'm going to keep going. So I go to just do a slight jog, and I can't do it. Jogging is done. I officially can walk. Actually, I'm hobbling now. I'm hobbling through the forest. Still not deterred. It's fine. It's just a little bit sore. It's going to get better. I'll just, hobble through it. It'll be fine. So I'm hobbling for about a good 20, maybe 30 minutes, and I get to an area that I feel like I haven't seen before, and now I'm confused because there's it's a bridge. There's a bridge here. And I'm like, well, I don't remember seeing a bridge on my way down here. Where did this bridge come from? So I hobble a little bit further, and I see some benches. I see another bench, and now I see full-on people sitting on a bench. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I hobble a little bit more, and I see a building, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, did I jump timelines? Now I'm in some alternate reality. I'm confused. What is happening here? So I walk towards the building, and there's this trail, and I see 2 ladies walking towards me, and I go, excuse me, what's down there? Where'd you come from? And she said, oh, it's a loop. It's just, you go down to the building, it loops around, and you come back. And I was like, oh, okay. So I turn around, and I go back up the hill because I don't want to do the loop. So I'm walking, and I'm following this trail, a trail I've never seen before. So I'm following this trail because it's kind of more paved and it's not woody. It's kind of paved. I'm confused. And here's another building and people sitting down, and I'm like, what is happening? Where am I? This is what I'm doing. Like, where am I? And there's ladies are behind me, and she's like, nope, you're doing fine. You're doing good. Just keep going a little bit further, and you're to the parking lot. And I'm like, parking lot? Like, I'm confused because it doesn't look like the parking lot I should be at. But, whatever. It's the parking lot. I'm hobbling. Great. I need to get to my car so I can leave. So I hobble to the parking lot, and I see a big sign that says Nature Realm. And I'm like, Nature Realm? I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong park. Now, I jog at Sand Run. And across, I don't even know how far, the Cyberlink Nature Realm has another park. And somehow, in the middle somewhere, they intertwine or interconnect. So in my hobble, I have hobbled myself 1.4 miles out of my park into another park I got no business in. So I'm like, oh my God, I started at Sand Run, I'm in a Nature Room. And they start laughing because, yeah, you silly goose, how'd you even do that? Like, and there's all kind of signs like to tell you which way to go. Oblivious me, just hobbling along. I'm not looking at the signs, I'm just hobbling, so I'm in the wrong place. So I'm like, all right, I'm not deterred. Let me turn around, find my sign, and I'll hobble myself back to where I need to go. So now on my hobble back to where I need to go, this is where the spirits come in, and they said this wouldn't have happened if you would have stick to your race, to run your own race. You had no business running after this lady in the first place. You're supposed to be walking, but you're running somebody else's race now, and now you're in the wrong place. And not only are you in the wrong place, you're hurt. You're not following your race. You're paying attention what other people are doing. You got that little bit of confidence boost because somebody said something good, and you ran with that, and now look at you. You're in the wrong place, and you're hurt. And I was like, all right, true. Note to self. Stick to you. Like, run your own race. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. And that's my message to you guys today. Like, run your own race. Don't compare yourself. I had no business comparing myself to the lady. She's running at a good pace, and let me try to run after her. No, I'm not supposed to be running. I'm supposed to be walking and doing my thing and not paying attention to what anybody else is doing. And that's what we should be doing in life. We should be walking and paying attention to our own thing and not worried about what everybody else is doing. And the funny thing about this is when I finally hobbled down back to the walking path where I was supposed to be, I hobbled back to the exact same area where I saw those two ladies, and I ran up the hill in the first place. So I gained no ground. I've lost an hour, and I've gained no ground. I'm back to where I started from. Also, another lesson. When you don't run your race, you get hurt, you lose track of time, and you don't gain any ground. I was no better off. I'm actually worse off than when I started. So that's my message to you. Please don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Just do you. Run your race, and you'll end up where you need to be. Not where somebody thinks you need to be, or where you think you need to be. Run your race. And end up where you need to be. Don't worry about where someone else has ended up. You just run your worst. I can't talk. Run your race, and you will end up where you need to be. You, not anybody else. We don't care what anybody else says. We don't care what anybody else is doing. We don't care what anybody else thinks. Do you. Run your race. That is it. That is my long message for today. And you know what's funny about my leg? It still hurts. I went to the library. To charge my devices. And the lady said, the library closes at 5 o'clock and it's 4:30. I'm like, all right, by the time I gather up myself, I'll hobble to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and then out the door, it'll probably almost be 5 o'clock. So I get to the stairs, and I go to walk down the stairs, and I go down with the hurt leg first. I walk that first, and I immediately put pressure on it. I'm like, whoop, I can't do it. So I start, slowly hobbling down. I got my laptop, my books, my papers, everything in my hand. Now, there's a kid on the other side of the stairs next to me who's about maybe 14, 15, and he is having a hard time getting down too, but he is full on disabled. Nice kid. So he's, slowly moving down the steps, and he's going down the steps, and then there's another set of steps that he's going down to the kid area, but I'm gonna go down the steps and I'm going out the door. So he turns around and he sees me struggling to get down the stairs, and he says, "Ma'am, do you need some help? I see you're struggling." And I thought, oh, how nice is he, who struggled down the stairs himself and turned around and see me struggling and want to help me. And I said, "No, thank you, sweetie, I got it." And he said, "You remind me of my very good friend." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Yeah, his name is Junior." Now, this kid is white, so I know he see the short hair, so that's why he thinks I remind him of Junior, and I'm not offended. I'm like, "Oh, well then, good for you that you got a good friend." And he said, "Yeah, Junior's a really good friend, and he has a sister who's very pretty, and you remind me of her too. You're pretty too." And I thought, oh, thank you, kind young gentleman at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. How sweet is that? But I did think it was comical that he saw me struggling because I can't walk down the stairs and offered to help me. How nice is that? I'm hoping by tomorrow my leg will be better so I can at least hobble my way through my walking trail. So here's hoping. Thank you for listening to my very long-winded stories today. I love you all. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.